Buzz allows administrators to set up school years and grading periods within their domain. This will trickle down to all of the teachers within the domain, and it is recommended to create the school years and the grading periods for the domain before the courses are created. Otherwise, teachers may need to go back into their courses to align to specific grading periods and quarters. So the first thing is, how do you create the school year? For a Buzz admin, you're going to go into the admin console. Once you're in the admin console, you're going to go up to your three dots and go to domain settings. In domain settings, you're going to scroll down until you find the box that says school year. Boxes are in alphabetical order. Once you find school year and grading periods, you're going to click Add. Title your school year, so you can put the 22-23 school year. You're going to need your school calendar to be able to do the start date and the end date for your school year. After you've dictated how long your school year is, this is where you're going to start putting in your grading periods. So however you call them, if you call them semesters, if you go by quarters, however you do this, you're just going to create them. And you are going to have to put the dates in for these. So again, you're going to need to know your dates for each of your quarters. Once this is set up, and I'm just fudging my stuff here. So once this is set up, you can click Done. And then you've created a school year. Then what you need to do is go down to the current grading period and select which quarter you are in. You can enable weighted periods and final course scores if you would like to. We oftentimes advise not to. Let the teachers do it themselves. Then I can go to Save. And you have successfully set up grading periods and school years for your teachers. For teachers in Buzz, if they would like to, they can also set up their own grade periods if the Buzz admin has not set up a school year. To do this, they would find their course or create a course and go to their editor. In the editor, they can go up to their white wrench and click on Course Settings. Here they can indicate the school year of the course. They would need to change the passing score, so Buzz automatically defaults to 70. This would need to be changed. And then they can also pick their grading category, so how they're going to grade. Is it letter scale? Also, the view of the grades, if they're using points, percentages, letter grades, or minutes spent. You're going to create your grading categories, so you can click on this, choose your weight, homework, or whatever you're going to call it. If you're going to drop the lowest scores, how many of those are you going to drop? And then click Done. You will need to activate grading periods if you need to use the grading periods, and then we're going to inherit. You do not have to click this if you do not want to. Once this is all set, you're going to press Save. Now, because my admin already created school years, you're going to notice I'm probably missing a lot in my syllabus. That's because my Buzz administrator has stated I'm in quarter 2. If I need to look at all periods, I would just click all periods, and you're going to notice everything filters. If I need to change anything, I can go to Editor, Settings, And in here, I can switch this to where the setting should be, if it's quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3. Folders should be able to trickle down. You can also do this with assignments. So if I go into my folder here and I go into my assignments, so I'm going to choose the Midsummer Night's Dream, go to settings. Here as well, I can indicate what quarter this belongs to. If I need to adjust weights, there is a tab here where I can click this and I can adjust the weights for my quarters and periods. So I can click this and I can say instead of weighing 100, it'll just weigh 20. This will also tell me the percentage that it's going towards the overall category of homework. So if I want things to be more or less, I would play with my weights. If you want to look at a specific quarter or category, you can do this by simply going into your gradebook for this course. I have filtering turned on, so you can turn filtering on or off by clicking the down triangle here. I'm in quarter 2 here, so if I want to look at quarter 1, I'm going to change it here. Otherwise, you would have a pull-down menu here that says quarter 1 and quarter 2 if your Buzz admin is not already set up the school years. I can look at specific categories within this quarter to see how students did. If I want to look at an overall student, I'm going to click on that student's name. All right, we are looking at quarter 2. Again, if I want to go back to quarter 1 for the student to see how the student did, I would just select it up here. And these are all the assignments that I did for quarter 1. Within this page, I do have the ability to print this off for a student. I also have the ability to batch update. So if I need to do a batch update to excuse or allow retries on a lot of assignments for the student, I would just select the ones I want, go up here, and do allow a retry. If I need to do auto quick grading, I can also enable that just like you can in your gradebook, and I can do my grading from here. Going back to the gradebook for the overall class. If I can, or if I want to, sorry, let me just... All right, if I choose a specific grade, again, I have options here. This is the activity grader. Within the activity grader, I can do the following. I have the ability to enable quick grading for this. I also have the ability to stop submissions, batch update scores, enter printed assessment answers, curve scores. I can also do display options for this so I can see when it was submitted, the version, all within here for students. And I can also filter by groups if I have groups set up. Again, going back to your gradebook, if I just wanted to look at quarter 1, I want to look at all. I also have the ability in here to be able to export grades into a spreadsheet if I need to. So if I go to my tools again, I can go to my final grades for this quarter to see how students did and calculate them. In here as well, I can ignore unscored activities, or I can select you're going to give a 0 for all the unscored. And again, you may have to switch back to quarter 1 and 2. Or I can just ignore them, as I said. Within here as well, I have the ability to edit the grading schema. So if I want to, I can click Add. I can add a schema. So grading schemas, for those of you who don't know, they're criteria-based models for measuring performances. Here I can also decide my grading scale. I can play with my category weights for this specific schema if I would like to. And then I can choose my categories. So if there are things I don't want to add and there are things I do want to add into the schema, I can select those. And I can unselect quizzes if I wish to. Do I want to drop scores? How many scores do I want to drop? And then press save. Once I have a grading schema, you're going to see it populate here, so I can look at reading if I want to, and it will show me the scores for reading for these students. So these are all of the different ways that you have to be able to see scores, grade students, to personalize your classroom within Buzz. We hope that this was helpful.